Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Ask Profit here at NDTV Profit, a show that gets all your stock-related queries answered. But before we answer all of those queries, let's take a quick look as to how the derivative markets are doing at the moment. Sharan joining us to give a snapshot of the trade today.
Well, entirely the derivatives markets are looking on the positive side. At first, let's just pull up the Sensex heat map. The action has moved to the IT space, and we'll get you the reasons also how these stocks have been performing well. But the trend, that has been the accident of the day, a back of the earnings. But net, the overall sentiment still is positive. Now, let's look at where the active contracts are actually developing. And we see almost 16K of contracts are coming in. It's in premium. And let's just see where the entire congestion is lying. It's roughly around 83,600 to 83,500. That's where the action is there. Not much in the put segment. Let's pull up the BankX numbers. Over here, there has been a change. Let's look at the SBI numbers. That has actually flipped. It's, we are seeing profit booking in the counter, but HDFC Bank is still holding up and a strong contribution coming in from this segment as well. In the contract segment, it's largely on the call side where the action is there, which we are seeing. And now let's just pull up the entire, the key trades which are happening. The key longs, they include Torrent Pharma and Nykaa, both on back of earnings. Let's look at the short covering where the action has moved to Nalco, and that has actually picked up very much after earnings. Uno Minda also, stock is up 5% on this. Looking at long unwinding, we're having BSE and KFintech, both capital market theme plays. And at last, the key shots over here, Trend makes it to the list. And the second one, after it had recently come out from the FNO ban, is Samman Capital. So these are the important stocks which are buzzing in the FNO segment.
Well, thanks so much for that, Sharad. But we have also been joined by Nilesh Jain. He's the head AVP Technical and Derivative Research as well from Centrum Broking as well. Nilesh, very good morning to you, and thanks so much for joining in. Let me go across and take our next query. It's on something like a KPI green, and our viewer is asking for a long-term view. So Saurabh, any view that you have specifically on KPI green?
Stock is not in coverage.
Nilesh, anything on the charts that suggests a good, good time to enter the stock? Any view?
Well, good morning, first of all, to everyone. Looking at the overall structure of this particular counter, recently we saw the stock face resistance at 550. So that is acting as a very strong barrier for this particular counter. At current level, there is no clear trend. The stock is moving sideways and high possibility of some bit of decline going forward from here. So not advisable to buy at current market price, but if at all you see any dip towards 470, 450, that can be a good entry point, keeping a stop loss below 425 because there's a very strong support on the lower side. Keeping that as a stop loss, then probably it can be bought, but it's an avoid at current market price.
It's an avoid at current market price. Stock down by about 2% as we speak, and at its day's low point as well. But moving on, Jigar is calling us from Mumbai. Jigar, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning, Mahima. My question is on SBI Life Insurance.
Okay.
I am holding 50 shares at 700.
Okay.
And my question is whether I should continue to hold this, or can I exit this and move to LIC, or should I exit this and move to some other sector itself fully, or for a long-term holding?
Okay, Jigar, got your question. I'll take this up with Saurabh then. Saurabh, he's bought at the levels of 700, sitting on profits of over 65,000 odd rupees. Wants to know if he can shift to something like an LIC or maybe some counter in another sector. What's the view like?
I think he is already sitting with the leader. I mean, the company which is, if compared to LIC, is generating good business profitability and everything. So I would not suggest to switch to LIC. Rather, if he wants to book some profits, he can surely book some profits.
Got the view, Saurabh, but the other one that we're getting is something like a Shelly Engineering, another stock that's been in focus actually over the last year or so. And Ramana from Bengaluru was asking if it's actually a good time to enter the stock. Let's look at the one-year view of something like Shelly Engineering as well in terms of stock performance. Saurabh, any view that you have on something like a Shelly Engineering, because we've seen almost 100% jump in the stock over the last 1 year. Any fundamental view on the stock?
Sorry, not in coverage.
Nilesh, on the charts, would you suggest buying into after the strong up move?
Well, no doubt the stock has been in a very strong uptrend, a secular uptrend. I would say we have seen in last 2-3 years, constantly it is making a high up and high bottom formation on the weekly time frame chart. So structure wise still looks strong. and we can expect further momentum towards 2600 on immediate basis. Positional target could be somewhere around 2800 to 3000. In terms of making a fresh long at current market price, I would suggest to wait for some bit of decline towards 2350 to 2300. That can be a good entry point because the stock has a very strong support at 2120. So 2120 should be the stop loss. In terms of making a fresh entry, wait for some meaningful decline, and if somebody is already holding the long position, can ride this momentum for upside target of 2800 to 3000 positionally.
Got that view, Nilesh. But we have another caller now dialing in from Mumbai itself, and Nishad is dialing in with a stock query. Nishad, very good morning to you, and welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Yes, I want to know about a long-term view on Nesco. I'm holding 17 shares at 1300. I want to know if I can allocate 25% to it. So I want to add more of it.
Okay, and Nishad, do you have any other stock in your portfolio from the real estate space?
No, only Nesco.
Okay. Saurabh, coming back to you because of your wants a long-term view, something like a Nesco, it does give some comfort in terms of valuation. What do you make of the company?
See, while the company is putting up a good growth, if you see sequential on the sequential basis, the latest quarter has shown growth. Overall, the real estate space, in the real estate, all the companies are not doing good. Largely, our take is that better to stick with the leaders, maybe companies like DLF in the Delhi NCR region, or maybe company like Prestige in the Bangalore.
All right, so that's the view with regards to where the real estate pack is concerned. But the next question is from Sai, who is writing us from Andhra Pradesh and asking about CET. He's a long-term investor and wants to invest into this counter for a year and wants to know if this is a good price to make an entry. Saurabh, your view?
View is quite positive on the automakers. Companies like JK Tyre and CET Tires, Apollo Tires are likely to do well with the with the margin expansion and the volume growth which is expected to see, which will be strong going forward. So for the next 1 year, yes, it is a good stock to be in.
Okay. All right. The next caller, Praneeth, is calling us from Hyderabad. Praneeth, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning. I'm having a query regarding CAMS for the long term for 2 to 3 years, and I'm holding it since 1 month actually.
Okay. Okay, Praneeth, I got your question, and I'll take this up with Saurabh then, since you're looking for a long-term view on CAMS India. Saurabh, his buying price is 3,813 shares is what he holds in his portfolio. So the stock is almost trading near his buying price. So what's the view like from a 2 to 3 year perspective where CAMS India is concerned?
Well, the company is good, but the valuations are still looks expensive, trading 19 times to book value. Though there was a valuation correction only that for the last 1 year or so, the stock was underperformer, and I expect that the stock price will oscillate in the same fashion for the next 1 year or maybe more. So I'd suggest better to let that come. Do not invest in this company.
Got that view, Saurabh. But the next counter that we're getting a query on is something like a PTM. And our viewer, Sarthak from Noida, is asking for a short-term view. Next 1 to 2 months, he's holding 1,500 shares at 1,350 rupees per share. So he's sitting at a loss currently. Nilesh, would you recommend that trade?
Well, absolutely. The stock has witnessed a strong rebound after hitting lows in the month of May 2024. In fact, last 1.5 years, if you see, we have seen a strong momentum in this particular counter. From a very short-term perspective, recently we have seen a good breakout on the chart from the levels of 1,300. That will act as a strong support now, and on the upside, we can expect a gradual up move towards 1,400 from a short-term perspective, and little positional perspective. I think the stock may test the levels of 1,500 as well. So one can stay put in this counter, keeping a stop loss below 1,300. Short-term to medium-term structure looks strong.
Got the view, Nilesh. The next question that we are coming in and getting is from Uttar Pradesh. Arvind dial kare stock query kare. Arvind, very good morning and welcome to Ask Profit. क्या है आपका सवाल?
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. सर मेरा जो क्वेश्चन है प्रीकॉल इंडिया लिमिटेड के ऊपर है. ये मेरे पास 485 रुपए पे 220 शेयर्स है मेरे पास, और अभी इसके रिजल्ट्स वगैरह भी काफी अच्छे आए हैं, और ये वर्ल्ड की सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंपनी है जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करती है ये ड्राइवर इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम को. तो क्या मेरे को प्रॉफिट बुक कर लेना चाहिए या फिर और भी पोटेंशियल दिखता है आने वाले समय में? तो टेक्निकल बेसिस पे तो काफी स्ट्रांग है, पर बाकी मैं फ्यूचर जाना चाह रहा हूँ कंपनी का।
अरविंद, थोड़ा टाइम तक रख सकते हैं आप शेयर, तो मैं आपको एक लॉन्ग टर्म व्यू देता हूँ, बिकॉज जैसे आपने कहा कंपनी का रिजल्ट तो बहुत अच्छा था, थोड़ा टाइम तक रख सकते हैं।
हाँ, रख सकता हूँ, मैं रख सकता हूँ।
Saurabh, let me come to you on this one, and preferably if you can answer in Hindi for a viewer. क्या लगता है आपको प्रिकॉल पे, बिकॉज TFT डिस्प्ले वाला बिजनेस बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है इनका, योर व्यू?
देखिए, जितनी भी नई गाड़ियां आ रही हैं उसमें जो नया नवीनीकरण है उसमें ही कंपनी हिस्सा लेती है। अगर देखें तो कंपनी का ग्रोथ भी और वैल्यूएशंस भी इसी वजह से बढ़ रहे हैं क्योंकि एक नीश सेगमेंट में है। अगर आप देखेंगे वैल्यूएशन पे, तो इतनी वैल्यूएशन पे कंपनी अभी ऑफ लेट ही ट्रेड करना शुरू हुआ। इससे पहले 7 टाइम्स टू बुक वैल्यू पे कभी ट्रेड नहीं होती थी। हाँ, क्योंकि फ्यूचर आउटलुक काफी अच्छा है और क्योंकि आप लंबे समय तक इसमें रह सकते हैं, तो मेरी सलाह यही रहेगी कि आप इसमें बने रहें।
Okay, all right. So that's with regards to where Precall stands. The stock is up 3.5% as we speak. The next one is from Neha, who is writing us from Bengaluru and asking about DCB Bank. She's bought at the levels of 120 and 220 is the kind of quantity that she holds. The stock is down 0.5%, but wants to know from a 2 months perspective if she can continue to hold the counter or not. Nilesh, your view on the charts?
Looks positive from a short to medium term perspective. Reason being, we have seen a good consolidation breakout. The stock, in fact, was consolidating in last 5 years now. For the first time, it broke above 160 mark recently. And looking at the overall structure, looks like it is heading towards 200 marks from a short to medium term perspective. But immediate basis, 185 to 190 kind of levels can be seen, and after that 200 plus it can be tested from a short to medium term perspective. Stay put in this particular stock, keep a stop loss below 155 and look strong on the chart.
All right, so that's with regards to where DCB Bank is concerned. The next one, Rajan is calling us from Mumbai. Rajan, hi, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning, madam. Very nice feeling to talk to you and Alexa. Of course, now today Alexa is not there, other gentlemen is also okay.
Our pleasure. The pleasure is all ours, Rajan. Thank you so much for dialing in.
Madam, I have a Mankind Pharma 21 shares. I'm holding since June.
Okay.
The basic purpose for holding this script was, since this does not cater to that US FDA guidelines and something, all those garbage and immediate inspection and all, I thought it will be safe. But I'm ready to wait for 3 years. I'm not at all worried. So was it a right decision on my part? I would like my query to be answered by Saurabh sir, if you don't mind, sir.
Sure, Rajan. I'll take this up with Saurabh only. Saurabh, what he mentioned is correct, right? And wants to know if his decision of continuing with holding Mankind Pharma is right or wrong. What's the view like?
In my opinion, you have taken a correct decision. Your time horizon is 3 years. See, Mankind Pharma over the years have launched many drugs and have ventured into newer verticals. And in fact, it is they are providing something like cost-effective things to the customers, and with that of good quality compared to its peers in peer companies. So my sense, it is because of the weakness in the recent quarterly earnings. Maybe the stock is languishing down towards down. And for the next 3 years, yes, I do expect the company to do well. So my take is better to stick with it.
Got the view, Saurabh, but we have another query coming in on something like a Transrail, and the stock's actually beaten down in trade today. Let's pull up that stock very quickly. It's down 9%, and Pratik from Pune is asking a quick view on the stock. He's not mentioned a time frame, so let me go across to Nilesh very quickly. Nilesh, post this correction actually on the stock, what would you recommend our viewers for Transrail?
Today it looks like a price and volume breakdown in this particular counter. It has broken below its July month's low of 665. Till time it doesn't reclaim 665, looks like we may see another leg on the lower side, and this support would be somewhere around 580. So 580 could be tested going forward. Today's close would be important to watch out for. If it manages to close above 660, that would be considered as a positive close, and we may see a pullback move going forward. But as of now, in terms of making a fresh long, it's an avoid. If somebody already holding the long position can keep a stop loss below 595, and it's an exit on pullback kind of structure as of now.
So exit on pullback on Transrail has done well for its investors in the last 1 year. maybe something like a trill having an impact on the whole space, and that'll be something to watch and monitor as well. Next query is actually a caller dialing in from Pune itself. Amit has a stock query. Amit, very good morning to you and welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query?
Yeah, good morning to you all. I am holding Electro Steel Castings Limited, 275 shares, bought at 188. So should I hold it or should I sell it off?
And Amit, can you hold the stock for a little while, or do you want to largely see to exit the position so I can get you either a fundamental or a technical view?
No, I can hold it. I want fundamental view on this company.
Okay, got that. Saurabh, Electro Steel Cast, do you track this company by any chance?
See, we are quite positive on the ferrous and non-ferrous metals. The cycle is the cycle should be in favor of the companies like Electro Steel for the next 1 year or so. So if you look at the valuations, they are on the lower side. The stock is trying to make some kind of a bottom here, and I would suggest him to wait for another year or so, or at least wait for this quarterly earnings and then take a call.
Okay, all right. The next one is from Rajkumar and asking about Praj Industries. He's got 50 odd shares at the levels of 500 and wants to know if he can hold or sell. Nilesh, what's the view like on the charts?
It's a complete downtrend, as I can see on the chart. The stock is in a constant formation of a lower top and lower bottom. The structure still appears on a weaker side, and going forward, we may see the levels of 315 to 300 as well. So if bought it at high level, then I would suggest to exit on pullbacks, because short to medium term structure is not looking that promising. Unless and until somebody is having a long term view, that's a different case. But short to medium term structure is looking slightly on a weaker side. So exit on pullbacks should be the strategy.
Got the view, Nilesh. We have another one coming in on something like an ICICI Bank, and our viewer is asking an outlook on the stock. It's he has been bought at roughly 1,400 rupees per share, so it's a recent buy to say the least. He's asking an outlook on the stock and a reason why it's in a downtick over the last 3 months. Probably some pullback from those levels, Amit. But Saurabh, do you have a quick view on something like an ICICI Bank, and is it your preferred pick in the private banking space?
Yes, of course, this is a preferred pick in the banking space. If you look at the balance sheet, it is quite pristine. They are doing higher than the industry average with the minimum NPAs and strong balance sheet. So my sense is like it is like a portfolio stock. You should be you should remain invested for the next 3-5 years.
Okay, the next one is a caller. Sujoy is calling us from Kolkata. Sujoy, hi. A very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ चंबल फर्टिलाइजर शेयर के बारे में 620 के लिए, या अभी के मैं खरीद सकता हूँ क्या शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए ना?
शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए, ठीक है. तो मैं ये नीलेश से पूछूंगी फिर. नीलेश, शॉर्ट टर्म चार्ट्स क्या कह रहे हैं चंबल फर्टिलाइजर के बारे में?
वेल महिमा, शॉर्ट टर्म स्ट्रक्चर इसका थोड़ा सा वीक नजर आ रहा है, क्योंकि स्टॉक में लगातार यहाँ पर हम ऊपरी स्तरों से सेलिंग प्रेशर देख रहे हैं. काउंटर अभी फिलहाल अपने सारे शॉर्ट टर्म एंड लॉन्ग टर्म मूविंग एवरेजेस के नीचे ट्रेड हो रहा है. जब तक 500 के ऊपर नहीं निकलता है, तब तक यहाँ पर कोई भी लॉन्ग इनिशिएट करने की सलाह नहीं होगी. इनफैक्ट लोअर साइड में काउंटर 460 450 तक के लेवल टेस्ट कर सकता है. तो बेटर अवॉइड करें एज ऑफ नाउ. कंफर्मेशन आने के बाद लॉन्ग ट्रेड लेके चल सकते हैं, वो होगा 500 के ऊपर निकलने के बाद. फिलहाल अवॉइड करने की सलाह होगी.
Got the view, Nilesh. And the next query that's coming in is something like Shakti Pumps. Now, stocks in a downtrend today post its quarter 2 earnings. And Balwant Modi from Rajkot is asking that query. He's asking the future prospects of the company. Saurabh, do you track this counter, and any view that you have on the Shakti Pumps?
On the valuation side, it looks expensive to me. It is a relatively small company trading around 12 times to book value. Normally, if you look at the past histories, the company has done well, but it is because of the higher valuation that seems to me that this is the reason why the strong case been reacting and not performing well in the last 3-4 quarters. So my sense is better to wait for this December quarterly earnings, and moreover, as we go into the next financial year, then around the budget time, companies like Shakti Pumps do make a noise in the company, in the market.
That's Saurav's view on something like a Shakti Pumps, and definitely want to watch out for. But we have another caller now dialing in from Hyderabad. Shelja has a stock query. Shelja, very good morning to you and welcome to Ask Profit. What's your query? I think we've lost Shelja, but we have her query on something like a Quadrant Future Tech. Now she's bought it at 430 rupees per share, while minimum holding of 10 shares. Stocks corrected to 300. I think it's a recent listing, so technical review might be a little difficult. Saurabh, do you track this by any chance?
Not in coverage.
Not in coverage. So we'll probably have to wait a little bit for the charts to form as well to get a technical view. But let me take in another stock query on something like Infosys. And a viewer, Ijaz from Mumbai, is asking a short-term view on the stock. He's bought it at 1495. Nilesh, would you suggest and recommend that trade?
Absolutely. So stay put is the advice, because if you look at IT space as a whole, seems to forming a good base formation, specifically large cap stocks like Infi, Wipro, SL Tech, and also TCS. So all these stocks are near their crucial support zone. So from here, the risk and reward is looking favorable for the long position. Infosys, from here, the upside target comes around 1550. 1550 is a very strong resistance of 200-day moving average. If it breaks above 1550, it will be considered as a short-term bottom, and then the upside will open for 1600 to 1700 as well. But as of now, at current level, one can stay put, keeping a stop loss below 1460, and upside could be seen 1550 from a November series point of view.
Okay, all right. The next one is on Infibeam Avenues, and this is from Shashikant, who's writing us. His buying price is 18.3 rupees. Did not mention the quantity, but on the charts, Nilesh, what's the view like?
Looks sideways as of now, but it has a very strong support at 17.5. So first of all, keep a stop loss at 17.5. I'm not expecting any major move on the upside as of now. So exit on pullback. Again, that should be the strategy. Stock is not looking that attractive as of now.
Got the view, Nilesh. But viewers, it's time for a second round of the rapid fire. And Nilesh as well as Saurabh, you know the drill. Keep your answers as short as possible on buy, sell, and hold, so we can take a lot more queries. The first one is coming from Ronak from Hyderabad on Natco. He holds 49 shares at 921 and asking a 2 to 3 year view. Saurabh?
Good potential, hold.
Okay, the next one is on M&M. Shiva Chaitanya from Toronto wants to know if this is a good time to make an entry. Your view on the charts, Nilesh?
Yes, looks good for 3750, 3800 on the upside. Stop loss should be placed at 3600.
The next one is Tata Elxsi, and our viewer wants a long-term view on the stock. He's bought at 7600. Any view, Saurabh?
Avoid, better go with HCL.
Okay, the next one is on Dixon. George wants to know if he can continue to hold or sell. He's sitting on a loss of over ₹1 lakh. Nilesh, on the charts?
Sell on rise structure. If at all you get the levels of 15,300, 15,500, exit near about those levels, and keep a stop loss at 14,700.
The next one is on GrassM. 20 shares at 2,736 is what Sanjay holds. A 3-year horizon. Saurabh?
Hold.
Okay, the next one is an interesting one. Shubham is asking if he can invest in Lenskart today. Saurabh, any view?
Avoid.
The next one's on something like a Nava. An average price of 495 is what Manisha holds from Bengaluru. She's asking if it's the right time to purchase more. Nilesh?
No, avoid as of now. Better wait for some bit of reversal, but stop loss should be placed at 530. That's a very strong support.
Okay, Tata Elxsi is the next one, and this is from KK, who wants to know. Okay, it's done. Okay, the next one is on Colgate Palmolive, and Desikan Srinivasan wants to know from a 6 to 9 months perspective, can he invest into this counter or not? Nilesh, your view on the charts?
Yes, it can be bought, keeping a stop loss below 2000. It is near support, and upside can be seen somewhere around 2400 to 2600.
Suzlon Energy, a viewer has bought 58 at 58 rupees per share. A long-term view. Saurabh?
Hold.
KC International is the last one. Manohar from Pondicherry wants to know if you can invest from a longer-term perspective. Saurabh, your view?
Yes, you can buy.
Okay, so that's with regards to where KC International is concerned. But with that, viewers, we are completely out of time on, of course, the rapid fire segment as well as the Ask Profit show. We tried to answer 46 odd queries. So thank you so much for that, Saurabh and Nilesh, for, of course, taking us through those 46 queries. But with that, like I mentioned, completely out of time on this edition of Ask Profit. Do stay tuned. KYC on the other side.